together?
Yeah, I think the starting point is every time we're together is an important time, right? So it's last year was really important. This year is important. You know, every opportunity we have to be together is crucial. Building towards 2026, and working with this group in particular has been great. Very receptive, really young group, 13 Olympic age eligible players, a lot of first time players into the national team. So it's really about just getting them up to speed with how we operate, what the environment's like, and our style of play.
With a lot of your typical starters who are overseas, what are the benefits, you say, of having this younger squad here, getting to get these looks at
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's able to evaluate different player pool. I think giving guys opportunities is important. And then also, as we build towards the Olympics, making sure that we have our eyes on, our talented group of young players.
What went into your decision to calling Duncan Maguire up to the senior team?
It was more about him and his play. He had a fantastic year with Orlando. I think he scored 14 or 15 goals, standout player. So he earned his call-up, and it's great when players put themselves in positions to earn things like that.
And what have you seen from him so far?
He's looked good. We saw sharp movements behind the back line, inside the penalty box, also clever movements. So, as we move this week, we're going to learn a lot more information, but he's made a good impression.
You talked about ultimately building towards 2026, right? Mm-hmm. But what role does the Olympic stage have in that process?
It's part of it. Because if you think about next summer, we have Copa America, which is going to be our senior group of players, tournament tested, get to play against the world's best. And then you have another group of players a younger group of players that gets to also compete in an international tournament. And anytime you can gain experience in these international tournaments, it's valuable.
And then you have Marco on your staff. I guess having the young and the senior team leadership together, what does that do for maybe like the synergy, the cohesiveness of the national team together?
Yeah, it's important. It's important that we're speaking the same language. It's important that we're have similar understanding. And then it's important for the players to see that we're really connected. Whether that's the U17 team or the U19 team or the U23 team, we're all connected. It's one big vertical line.
What went into the decision of coming here to Orlando training?
The weather, but I think we made the wrong decision. Not just kidding. It is cold today. No, but the first thing is the weather is usually great, and then Orlando City's been a fantastic club for us. Always supportive and great facilities. And so for us, it's an ideal situation.
Obviously, for the Olympic team or the under-23 team, later this summer, they have that option to bring in some overage players.
Yep.
How is that going to work out? Is that something you're speaking with Marco about? And is there already a preliminary list of who those players?
Yeah, the prelim list has every single player in our player pool on the list. There was no limit to who we can put on the list, so we literally put every single player. And now it's about being targeted and choosing the right players who can help the group, but also mindful of their workload, what they have going on preseason. As you know, it's not a FIFA event, so it's not a FIFA window. The clubs have the option to release the players or not, so we have to be strategic about who we're bringing in.
Gregg, the Olympic team hasn't the men's team hasn't really gone to the Olympics for quite some time now. Obviously making an appearance for almost 10 years now that the Olympic team the men's team hasn't been in the Olympics. How important is that for the program to kind of go into the summer and try to have a good outing?
I think it's more about just representation. We always we think we're strong enough that we should be representing CONCACAF in the Olympics every time it comes around. And for us, I've mentioned that it is an important tournament for our younger players to gain international experience.
And what have you noticed overall about just maybe the talent level of these up-and-coming players, what the future of U.S. soccer might look like?
Yeah, there's some talented players. When you see, some of the guys in the Olympic age group, scoring double-digit goals in MLS, it means they're doing a good job. And when I think about even players in the senior team, they're Olympic age eligible, and they've already played in World Cups and playing for big clubs around the world. So, there is certainly a big amount of talent that we have in the United States, but our job and MLS's job and U.S. Soccer's job is to work together to make sure we continue to produce these top talents.
Are there any training camps planned already or scheduled for before all these tournaments come in? I know we're already in January, but when's the next training camp?
Yeah, we'll be together in March for Nations League, and then we'll get together in the beginning of June for prep for Copa America. And the Olympic team will also have training camps.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.